All right, welcome back to LRC, the league. We're at round 3 at Suzuka. I will be your sole commentator for this race, Division 1. We had such an insane battle in Division 2. Let's see if Division 1 will live up to the hype. So, just like Division 2, we're having qualifying in random weather conditions, and it looks like it will be dry for this qualifying session. We'll qualify for 10 minutes, then we'll have a lobby reset. And just like the D2 race, we will start in the rain, but all of the weather condition blocks after the rain will be random. So let me see if I can confirm this in the event settings. I guess, yeah, in the qualifying session, it'll be all random. But in the race, we'll start with rain, and then we'll see where we go from there. So Dinosaur has initiated our qualifying to begin in just a few seconds. So we'll jump into that in just a few moments. So Vergold leads our pack right now in the qualifying out lap. In Division 1, we have a spec prototype car. So unlike Division 2, where we actually have a manufacturer's championship, every car in Division 1 is the same. It's the Toyota GR101. And as you can see in the GT7 UI, there's a hybrid component to this car that has a battery charge that powers the front wheel motors. So we'll keep an eye on the charge that the cars have throughout the race. There won't be a tire wear component like we saw in the Division 2 race, where mid-engine and rear-engine cars had a slight advantage on tire wear. For this track specifically, came down to the wire with Dinosaur getting chased down by D-Slove. D-Slove having to back off, or essentially not able to catch Dinosaur due to the aggressive tire wear on the front tires. And then Dinosaur took it home for the race win with the one-stop strategy. Effective one-stop strategy. So on board with Toasty for his first hot lap. Toasty crossed the line with a 145.9, setting the tone and the bar for what we can expect this session. Stoles jumps into the second with a 146. A 146.1. And Willie jumps up to the top of the timesheets with a 145.696. Willie being the winner of both rounds 1 and 2. We can expect Willie to potentially win pole position here today, but you never know. Additionally, with the rain setting at the beginning of the race, we might see some things get mixed up, or try to think of the word for getting shuffled up, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Willie heading to take the outside of, I believe that was T-Bone? No, that wasn't T-Bone. I believe that was Ads. Willie having to take the outside of Ads on the Dunlop curve. One of the important things with qualifying or setting a good qualifying time is to make sure that you have a clean track. One of the hardest things to manage while you're out on track and to do yourself is to make sure you have some good space between the cars ahead of you and the cars behind. So Ads and Willie both take a trip to the pits, likely to switch on some new tires but not take any additional fuel. Oh, I was wrong. He wants to take a little bit of fuel. So as we were watching Willie's pit stop, Stoles has jumped into second position, only 1/10 away from Willie's pole position, provisional pole position time. So T-Bone today will be substituting for Scarecrow or FKJ Motorsports. T-Bone jumps into second place and then heads straight to the pits. We got Vergold currently sitting in 5th place, currently on a hot lap. Takes a neat and tidy double apex through Spoon Corner. Down the back straight, heading towards 130R. Taking it flat out, very easy. Doesn't improve his time. So Vergold will remain in 5th place, 5th position. looks like we've hit the 10-minute mark, so Trackhead is done with qualifying. I think the next person to finish will be KG. KG will be substituting for, let's see here. And take a look at my notes. I think KG will be substituting for S. Walker today. KG is a longtime member of LRC, so it's good to see him back out on track as a reserve driver. Jumps up into 11th place, or I guess I should say maintains 11th place position. Toasty takes provisional pole position. Anthony Colazzo crosses the line. Let's see here who's going to finish up next. I wish I could just jump to person. Stoles jumps up to 3rd place. Let's see here who's next. And Willie takes it back on his final lap. I wish there was an easier way to like jump to the next car of who's going to finish next, because it's really annoying to have to cycle through them. But wow, look at that. So Toasty jumped up. So it was Stoles, Toasty, and then Willie all on their final hot lap. All right, let's take a look at those results one more time. So Willie takes pole position with a 145.3. Toasty will start alongside Willie in the 2nd grid position. On the 2nd row, we got Stoles and T-Bone. So T-Bone with a solid qualifying result. On the 3rd row, we got Anthony Colazzo and Vergould. So top 5 teams, top 5 positions are all all top 5 positions are all different teams. Vergould will be starting alongside Anthony Colazzo in that 3rd row. In the 4th row, we have Sir Hames and Ryder. We got Accession and Arya. Then KG and Ads. And finally, Trackhead and Nixon. Nixon had jumped up to D1 this season from, So Nixon, I think, so Nixon did jump up to D1 this season after, I believe, winning the last season. So Nixon is now with the big boys, finding a little difficulty to get used to the GTP car. So Dinosaur will reset the room. And as I mentioned before, just like in the D2 race, we're going to start with rain. And then the rest of the the rest of the weather blocks of the race will be set to random. So we won't know if the weather will clear up or if it will get worse as time goes on. I am secretly hoping it gets worse because I like to see rain. All right, so taking a look at the radar. Looks like we had quite a bit of rain the past hour to 30 minutes. And since then, I haven't seen... we've seen a little bit of rain. And it looks like we might get more rain. I don't know, we'll see. There's a huge rain cloud that's adjacent to the track currently. We'll see if it actually hits the track. I personally would like to see it rain more. But it will also be entertaining to see if we have a situation just like in the D2 race, if it starts to dry, if the track starts to dry immediately. If you're just joining us, we're LRC. We are Learners Racing Collective. Actually, I think I pinned. Nope, I didn't. Okay, so I just pinned our Discord invite link in chat. So if you're interested in racing with us, definitely hit that link. Join our Discord. We have a little bit of a process to qualify people for drivers in the league. We have what's called a sportsmanship license. So all it really is that you have to join one of our unsanctioned events, which we have several of throughout the week. And if one of our organizers deems you worthy enough, basically if you just drive cleanly and you have good racecraft, then you will be allowed to race in our sanctioned events, which are the league and our monthly endurance event called FTGP. So Dinosaur getting the confirmation from the drivers that they're ready before we start, and we'll be on our way very shortly. And as we can see through the preview on the lobby, looks like there's a little bit of a dry line forming on the track. So potentially we'll see a situation just like D2 where the track starts to dry quite considerably after the first couple laps of the race. Tough to tell at this point, though. If you're in chat, definitely let us know who you're supporting. Give us some... I guess there's not really a cheer function, huh? There's like a... You need like a cheer function in chat or something. Should maybe start looking into adding like different widgets for our stream where like people can interact and like cheer their teams on or something. That'd be pretty cool. All right, so Dinosaur has started our race procedure. And we'll get started very, very shortly. All right, and our cars are starting to roll, and we're going to get started in just a bit. The lights are green, and the action starts now. So Toasty gets a bad start, actually. Oh, and he gets hit by, I think that was Stoles, I think? Oh, man, that was kind of rough to see. I think it might have been Stoles that gave him a little bump, and then now Toasty has damage, I think, on that rear wing. Or no. Was it Toasty? Wait, something really strange just happened. I don't know. I don't know if you guys caught that on stream. That was like really strange. Something really awkward happened. So, from what I can tell now, Toasty is actually okay. Man, that was super weird. I've never seen anything like that before. Yeah, was that Willie? I think that might have been Willie that was like... Okay, so that was Willie. Okay, Willie ended up with damage on the rear bumper. Okay, that makes sense. So Willie was at the start. Oh man, I should have saved a replay point. I can't replay that now. But Willie's having trouble with something. Looks like he's just having issues. Yeah, that was an extremely confusing start there. I think Willie might have started on a lower gear and then just got a bunch of wheel spin. And then I think it might have been Stoles or Sir Hames that ended up rear-ending Willie just a bit on the start. And then now Willie has dropped down to 11th place. Toasty taking the inside of T1 to defend. Oh, is that what it is? Yeah, Willie's on mediums. Okay. So Willie made a gamble to start on mediums. Oh my goodness. He's currently battling with Arya. Gets a little bit of a bump there. And bumps Arya off Degner 1. Toasty understeers quite a bit at the end of Spoon. That allows T-Bone to go through and take first place for the time being. And then we got Stalls now looking to take that position away from Toasty after the mistake that he made. Toasty now ahead going into 130R. Oh, so a couple cars are diving into the pits. Look like Stoles jumps into pits. Sir Hames does as well. So Team Hoonigan Honeys Racing going for an early pit stop, just like probably just based off of the D2 race. And then Willie with the damage on the front, or sorry, on the rear wing, now managing to get up into 5th place after a bunch of cars have already decided to go and pit. You can see that dry line is already starting to form, so Willie is already setting the fastest sector times on the 3rd lap. Currently, Willie's in first place. Anthony Colazzo maintains second place, but on those wet tires, and you can see how degraded they are already just after 3 laps. So the track is drying extremely quickly, and Willie's already, since basically lap 2, has gained the advantage. So out of the cars that went ahead, oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! What a save by Sir Hames. I was gonna say Sir Hames leading the pack of cars that went to pit on lap 2. And as I said that, Sir Hames almost wiped out. Let's see if we can catch the replay of that. So he's coming out of the S's into the Dunlop curb and gets a tire on the curb. Yeah, on that wet curve. Oh my goodness, wow. What a save. But yeah, our drivers need to be extra cautious that because the curbs are extremely slippery still. And the curbs take like a little bit longer to dry than the tarmac does. So they will remain wet and could potentially be a hazard for cars in the drying laps, in the upcoming laps. So Anthony Colazzo takes a pit stop. And T-Bone, though while leading the race, is now in 5th place. I think T-Bone must have taken more fuel to extend his stint, or their stint, at the beginning of this race. I think that's a pretty good idea, considering we don't know what the weather conditions will be in the next few laps or so. And since it hasn't gotten clear yet, we don't know, we don't have any sort of indication that the weather is going to get nicer. There's still a chance that there could be more rain coming very, very soon. Stoll's there losing a position to T-Bone after almost rear-ending Vergould through 130R and having to avoid Vergould's car going through the apex. T-Bone will now have a chance to make a pass at Vergould. T-Bone there almost losing it. Oh my God. Getting so sketchy on the outside curves of 130R. All right, so Willie's still out in front. Still has that damage to the rear bumper. That's 149.0 is Willie's fastest lap. It's still fairly quick, so Sir Hames with a 148 is pacing just slightly faster on the last lap. It looks like on average they're very close to being the same pace. The rest of the cars on a similar pace as Sir Hames. Sir Hames doing an incredibly good job there, maintaining second place. And for the time being, it looks like Willie will be able to defend and keep his position out in front, regardless of having that damage. So Toasty made a longer pit stop, taking on more fuel, and is lapping in the 148s. So almost a full second faster than the leaders. So Toasty is playing the strategy game here. If you look at the amount of fuel that Willie has in relative to Toasty, it's a lot more. And if you look at the last couple laps, Willie has been lapping in the 149s. Last lap was a 148.8, but Toasty has been doing 148s, and then the last lap was a high 149, so it's been slightly faster the past couple of laps. Now the question is, how will this play out for the rest of the race? And will Toasty have to fight through traffic to be able to gain positions? And where will Willie end up after he pits? And then what strategy will end up, playing out ideal to the conditions of the weather, but not only the weather, but also the rest of the stints in the race. So Toasty is subbing in for V8 Eater, and that is the Mystic Maple Porsche. Oh no, Sir Hames. Oh my goodness. Sir Hames somehow doesn't take on damage, but he does spin out. And Stoll's here looking to potentially overtake. No, not overtake Vergold, but give him a little bit of a bump and fuel save behind Vergold. So Toasty is on Team Mystic Maple Porsche Racing A. So Willie's starting to find some time. He's now in the 147s. Keeping that gap open to T-Bone. So Vergold is in the pits, Willie's in the pits. We have T-Bone now leading the race, Stoles and Sir Hames, the HHR Racing teammates, in second and third. And then we got Toasty looking to make some ground here, currently sitting in fourth place. T-Bone, Stoles, and Sir Hames all take a pit stop. That leaves Toasty out in front. Toasty's got quite a good amount of tire life left and about just over a quarter of tank of gas. He's doing quite well, racing pretty quickly as well. So Toasty now, without having Sir Hames in front of him, he's now allowed to put down those fast laps to catch up as best he can. But now we're in a situation now where the strategies are offset with each other by about half a stint. So Willie, starting the race with mediums, didn't have to make a pit stop, and then started the race with a full tank of gas, didn't have to make any tire changes or anything like that. And then Toasty pitting 3 laps in to change over to the racing mediums, but also was able to take on more fuel. And so now Toasty is in a situation where he is essentially offset from Willie's strategy by about half a stint. So Anthony Collazo makes a mistake into the hairpin, and then Willie makes his way past. So Willie is now in 2nd place. Ad's in 4th place right now. Still has to make a pit stop, but enjoying that 4th place, I hope, in the meantime. So both of the full throttle fajitas Toyotas in 3rd and 4th. See where Ads comes out in relation to the other cars on track. He's gonna take quite a bit of fuel, so he's gonna be there for some time. Sir Hames makes his way by the start-finish line. So Sir Hames has pretty much a full tank of gas. Same with Stoles, so both of them are on the same strategy. And Vergold made it out ahead of them by taking less fuel. Wow, I didn't realize this, but you can actually see the reflection off the rearview mirrors. You can see the reflection of the track in the rearview mirrors. That's actually pretty insane. right, so Toasty dives into the pits. Willie will surely take the lead of the race. Anthony Collazo running on fumes. I think he actually ran out of fuel right before he entered the pits. All right, so we'll see where Toasty comes out in relation to T-Bone. T-Bone across the start-finish line, and Toasty's nowhere to be seen yet. Toasty is filling the tank all the way up. Comes out in front of Sir Hames. Now Sir Hames has to try to find a way around Toasty with a little bit warmer tires, but as soon as Toasty gets those tires up and running, he'll be very difficult to pass. So Toasty there successful with an overcut, getting past Sir Hames from earlier. Stoles maintains 4th position behind Vergould still. Oh, sorry, I think Vergould actually gained a position because he was sandwiched between Sir Hames and Stoles initially. And T-Bone is making quite the charge right now. So T-Bone with the fastest lap with a 146.1, making ground on Willie as we speak. So although Willie had that initial advantage for not having to pit at the beginning of the race, it looks like that lead will be diminishing quite a bit as T-Bone continues his stint. There gets very close to, I believe that's Anthony. No, that's not Anthony Collazo. That's someone else. That's Nixon. And Nixon goes off, and I think we lost someone. I think we lost Trackhead. So Trackhead on Discord says, "Oh, Trackhead's internet died. Ah, that's a shame." So DNF for Trackhead. It's a huge hit for Team Benefactor Racing AMG. And then Ryder's having a little bit of trouble. Gets spun out there at the exit of Hairpin. Waits for it to clear out to be able to rejoin the track. So it looks like Trackhead lost internet connection, and then Trackhead DNF'd. So he got kicked from the lobby because he lost internet. So that's a huge, that's a huge hit for what I was saying earlier. It's a huge hit for Benefactor Racing AMG. It's an unfortunate situation. We never like to see when a driver gets kicked from a lobby because of their internet connection. It's just such an unfortunate situation. But it's kind of like real life racing sometimes. Like you have mechanical failures and you just get bad luck, and that's just the way things roll sometimes. Riding on board with Anthony Colazzo, trying to chase down Accession through the hairpin, and just ahead of them they have Arya. Anthony Colazzo has a good run on Accession down the front straight. Is he going to make a move going down the front straight? I think he will. No, he decides not to. He just stays tucked behind Accession. Decides against making a move. He's very close there. The draft wasn't as strong as I anticipated it being. And maybe that's because Arya is just ahead of Accession. So maybe Accession got a little bit of a pull from Arya. The Stoles is now ahead of Vergold. So where's Vergold? Vergold. Okay, so Vergold went and took a pit stop. Came out 10th place. Willie is currently in the pits, just changing his tires now. T-Bone crosses this front straight. Oh no, and Stoles is in the gravel. No damage though. So that's good to see. He just lost it on the exit there. That's unfortunate. These cars are extremely challenging to drive. So LRC, whenever we run the league, we do not allow traction control. The only assist that we allow for the league is ABS. So Ryder, currently sitting in 12th place, is a lap down from Arya. That's why it's... Oh, no. Oh, no, Ryder. Every time... every time I focus on Ryder, he somehow spins out. It's just the commentator's curse all over again. I don't know if it was Ryder last season or 2 seasons ago, but there was someone that I kept like switching to in the stream, and every time I'd switch to them, they'd like crash. It's happened on several occasions so far. But Ryder certainly not having a good time in the prototype car. KG now looking is not actually behind. I think that was Toasty. So Toasty lapping, I think that was KG. Arya jumping into the pits. Gold is a good 7 seconds behind ads, but almost a full minute in front of Accession, so not much of a threat there. We have Willie coming up on Sir Hames, who decides to actually take a pit stop, so Willie passes on by and goes up into 2nd place. So Toasty has currently a 17-second gap to Willie. Yeah, so at this point, all the strategies are very staggered. So we got Toasty currently in 1st place with just about a third of fuel left in the tank and about, I don't know, let's say 40% of tires on the front, 50% on the backs. Willie has about 3/4 of fuel in the tank and around 80% of tires left. So let's see here. Willie currently has the fastest lap, and with about, let's say, a third tank of fuel, it's about 11 seconds of time. So Toasty's gonna have to make that up in the pit stop. So this effectively, Toasty is 11 seconds. Well, let's see here. Toasty is going to need to make up. This is basically too difficult to tell. So we're lap 24. Both cars probably have to make another pit stop. but it's possible that they both only have to make one more pit stop. And I actually don't know if Tosti's going to be able to make it just only one pit stop. I think he might be fuel saving to make it one pit stop left. I don't know. It'll be kind of close. There's 14 laps left. He can stretch out the stint as long as possible. He might be able to make it one stop. Then he has to fill the tank all the way up. And then Willie probably doesn't have to fuel that much more once he pits. And so Willie has a distinct advantage here in terms of fuel. Third, we got T-Bone, sitting about 21 seconds behind Willie, but with significantly more fuel. So I don't know. It's tough to tell. It might be T-Bone here might actually be in contention to potentially win this race if his strategy plays out the best. It kind of depends on how this last round of pit stops plays out. Anthony is struggling on those tires. We'll have to make a pit stop soon. So likely Anthony will have to make this pit stop and then another additional pit stop to finish the race. Let's see here. Vergould looking pretty okay with fuel and tires. Stoll's looking pretty solid. And Surham's on the same strategy as Stoll's, just 13 seconds behind. If you enjoy racing on Suzuka, definitely check out our upcoming events in LRC. So Super Formula recently had their two first races at Suzuka this year, the opening first two rounds, and I will be definitely not, I will definitely be restreaming those. So for those who are interested in getting their feet wet with Super Formula and watching the series, definitely check us out. Definitely join our Discord. We'll also be doing a watch party for the opening round of Formula One next weekend. Yeah, let's go through the grid in reverse order. Let's see how the cars are doing. So Ryder is currently in 12th, Accession in 11th. KG is in 10th. So he's only 3 seconds behind Aria, but he's got another pit stop to go through. He's basically running on fumes. He's also out of battery power. area is about 5 seconds ahead, but has about half a tank of gas. Ads is definitely looking fresh. Ads is in 8th place with tons of fuel and very, very clean new tires. Anthony Colazzo, the same as well. You saw this front tire there touch a little bit of grass coming into the Dunlop curve. Sir Hames and Stolz in a solid 5th and 6th position. Stolz there getting passed by Vergold. We got a yellow flag at the Casio Triangle. There's a car likely off track somewhere. Let's take a look at this pass. Or no, maybe that was Stolz attempting a pass of Vergold going into 130R. Look at this, they're getting side by side, and Stolz just doesn't have the top speed. He just backs out ever so slightly going into the turn. Got a great battle here for 3rd place at the moment. Stolz with fresher tires and more gas than Vergold. Vergold on a lighter strategy, it seems. Oh, Stolz got a good run coming out of the chicane. Decides not to stay in the draft behind Vergold going down the front straight. It's an interesting decision there. Stolz gets alongside Vergold and passes him coming out of the Dunlop curve. Vergold simply does not have the grip to be able to defend against Stolz there. And Vergold concedes the position. So Toasty sitting in 5th place right now with a clean set of tires and almost a full tank of gas. I think Toasty will be able to take his car all the way to the end of the race. And it's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out relative to Willie and T-Bone. I don't know if you guys heard it, but that was a really neat effect where as Willie was crossing underneath the bridge under 130R, you could hear I don't know whose car it was, but you could hear someone else's car going past the bridge, and you could hear the exhaust from the other car coming through. That was a really cool effect. Willie almost loses control there coming out of 130R. And there you go, he decides to go take a pit stop. With about 7 liters of fuel left, we'll see where Willie ends up. I think the tire advantage won't be significantly better, seeing as Toasty only pitted a couple laps ago. The advantage will be there, though, if they end up coming out around the same time. Based off the current positioning now, I don't think Toasty is going to be able to catch Willie coming out. It depends on how much he fuels up. If he goes all the way to 100, he might... I don't know. Okay, so there he is. So Willie comes out ahead of Toasty, only about 8 seconds in front. Sorry, 2 seconds now. So this will be a nice battle towards the end. Willie does have the tire advantage, but oh man, that's extremely close. So now Stoles is ahead of both of them, but suffering quite a bit from the tire wear. And Willie will have to get past Stoles. So in the event that Willie gets held up by Stoles, that will give Toasty an opportunity to catch up and allow him to fight Toasty for that final position. Not that final position, the first position. The win, the race win. Unfortunately, T-Bone picked up a 3-second penalty, likely from crossing the pit exit line. And that's a really harsh penalty. In GT7, a 3-second penalty isn't just a 3-second penalty, it's a 3-second slowdown penalty down usually what is an incredibly fast straight, so you end up losing almost double that amount of time. I would love to see rain all of a sudden. That'd be amazing. So Stoles went and pitted. So Willie kind of lucked out a little bit and didn't have to make the pass on track. Toasty now having to find a way to pass Willie on track. And that's the dangerous thing about Toasty. If he has the carrot dangling in front of him, he just goes into beast mode. a bit of a battle here for 6th place. Gold is coming up on Ads, who's struggling on his tires right now. I don't know if Ads will be able to make it to the end. So Vergood lucks out a little bit, and Ads decides to take the pit stop. Not much action in the second half of this race. Looks like all of our cars are spread out quite a bit. Willie's still maintaining an advantage over Toasty. He's opened the gap up quite a bit, a few seconds, so 3.5 seconds. Toasty now about 30 seconds in front of T-Bone, who had to make a final pit stop. And currently in that final podium position, Stoll's currently sitting in 4th place, Anthony Colazzo in 5th. Looks like Vergold will be making a charge to take that top 5 finish from Anthony Colazzo. Vergold's been lapping a 147.4. Anthony Colazzo in the 148s, 149s. So Colazzo might be in danger here in the final 5 laps of this race. James putting in a solid performance. Trey Hames's lap times have been pretty great. Like, he's consistent with the 147s. Looks like he had a couple laps here or there, maybe with a mistake. There's a 157 and a 149. I think maybe aside from a few mistakes here, he'd be easily in the top 5 if it weren't for those mistakes. Mistake there by Vergold coming out of Dunlop curve. Gets into the dirt a little bit and slows him down a little. Anthony Collazo understanding a little bit through Spoon Curve, and that allows Vergould to get a good exit on him down towards 130R. He's now in the slipstream, but is it gonna be enough? It's not gonna be enough. 130R also is pretty hairy in the dirty air of the car ahead. Vergould makes it, keeps his car on track. Oh, and then again, Anthony Collazo once again gets a squirrely exit. And now Vergould has a really good opportunity here to potentially pass Anthony Collazo. And Anthony Collazo just takes the inside and lets him by. So Anthony Collazo not able to keep the position. It almost looked as if Anthony Collazo just tapped the brakes ever so slightly to let Vergould by. Potentially not lose any more positions, since Sirham is only 8 seconds behind, and with also fresher tires. I think Vergould right now is doing everything he can to just finish this race. Cars as well. I think we lost Ryder, and also we didn't lose Accession. Nixon, I think we lost Nixon as well. It seems like we've gotten, a lot of disconnects. Maybe just some DNFs as well. I think one of the things about this car in particular, it's just pretty frustrating to drive, I think. And the drivers that were having a hard time were just like, I'm fed up with this. And understandably so. This Toyota is far from an easy car to drive. But these drivers make it look easy. So Willie starting the race on medium tires and getting immediately not punted, but kind of punted. Damage to the rear wing, fell back to 11th place on the opening lap, but the strategy paid off. He is now back at front, and then for another race win. It's 3 in a row, winning all 3 races so far this season. Willie, our race winner and season 4 champion. Toasty coming through, taking 2nd place. We got T-Bone making his way through 130R. And Stoll's not too far behind, so Stoll's not able to make up the time difference. And Stoll's will finish in 4th place. Solid result for HHR Racing. Also, Sir Hames actually got past Anthony Colazzo during the final lap, it seems. So Vergould will be crossing the finish line in 5th place. And Sir Hames taking that 6th position away from Colazzo in the last lap. So great result there by Sir Hames. Unfortunate by Anthony Colazzo. Anthony was running on basically dead tires towards the end there. And then Ads will cross the line in 8th place. So great run by Ads. Arya 9th, Accession in 10th, and then KG in 11th. All right, let's take a look at the race results one more time. So Willie takes the win again and takes the fastest lap, a 1:45.1. Toasty will take 2nd place, representing Team Mystic Maple Porsche Racing. T-Bone finishes 3rd place, rounding out the podium positions. Stolls with a 4th place finish. Vergould in 5th. Sir Hames in 6th. 7th and 8th, we've got our Full Throttle Fajitas Toyota team. Solid result by them. Arya in 9th place. Accession in 10th. In 11th place, we got KG. And then we have DNFs for R. Nixon, R. Ryder, and unfortunately, Trackhead. All right, so that will conclude round... Oh, excuse me. Hold on 1 second. So that will conclude round 3 of the league. Yeah, we lost Nixon and Ryder as well. It's unfortunate. I'm not exactly sure what happened there. But I think they were not having a fun race. Let's just put it that way. I think Ryder was a couple laps down. Same situation with Nixon. I don't blame them if they just decided to leave out of frustration. So next week, we're going to have an off week. There's no race next week. But we will return the following week with a 24-hour race simulation, of course, at the Nürburgring. I think there will be a short sprint race in the Nürburgring GP as well. Let me confirm. I'll have to confirm that with Dinosaur. So if you're catching our stream and you're not part of LRC yet, definitely check us out. Join us on Discord. I pinned our invite link in chat. We're a Discord group mainly around GT7. And if you play GT7, you're wanting to learn how to get faster, you're wanting to do some league races, or just have fun in general, LRC is a great place to do that. We we host all kinds of events. We do kind of like more casual racing events that are just kind of social. We do more instructional events as well, where we have like an academy type of event that's more of like a in real life academy racing school. We have the Academy League, which is essentially our academy sessions, but in a more structured league format. And we have coaches, mainly drivers that participate in the league that are in the top tier or high up in the league, and they serve as coaches for those who want to just get their feet wet with racing in the league. And then there's the league itself. If you want to be a reserve driver, definitely check us out as well. And then finally, we have our monthly endurance races called FTGP, and that's where we do a multi-class race in GT7. Usually it's about an hour and 30-minute race, and it's every month. And next week we'll be doing the first of the year, which will be Red Bull Mania. It's absolutely insane. We use the Red Bull X 2014 standard cars on the same track as the junior cars, and it's a wild ride. So if you're interested in any of those events or just joining a group and learning how to be faster, definitely check us out. And with that, again, we have no race next week, so we won't be broadcasting, but we will be back the following week, which is, I believe, the 24th. So we'll see you then.